The Korean War, a pivotal conflict of the Cold War era, erupted on June 25, 1950, when North Korean forces crossed the 38th parallel and invaded South Korea. This surprise attack not only marked the first major armed clash between communist and non-communist forces in the Cold War but also set the stage for a protracted and brutal conflict that would reshape the geopolitical landscape of East Asia. Origins and background. The origins of the Korean War can be traced back to the end of World War II, when Korea was liberated from Japanese occupation. The Korean peninsula was divided along the 38th parallel, with Soviet forces occupying the north and American forces the south. This division, meant to be temporary, hardened into a political split as the Cold War deepened. In the north, Kim Il-sung established a communist government under Soviet influence, while in the south, Syngman Rhee led a capitalist regime supported by the United States. Both leaders harbored ambitions of reunifying Korea under their respective ideologies, setting the stage for conflict. The outbreak of war, the invasion by North Korean troops, equipped and trained by the Soviet Union, quickly overwhelmed the ill-prepared South Korean forces. The capture of Seoul, South Korea's capital, seemed imminent. In response, the United Nations, led by the United States, swiftly intervened. President Harry S. Truman, viewing the invasion as a test of the West's resolve to contain communism, ordered American troops to support South Korea. This intervention was a turning point, transforming the local conflict into a broader international confrontation. Escalation and stalemate. The UN forces, initially pushed back to the Pusan perimeter, staged a dramatic counter-offensive with the successful amphibious landing at Incheon in September 1950. This bold maneuver, orchestrated by General Douglas MacArthur, led to the recapture of Seoul and the retreat of North Korean forces. However, the war took another turn when Chinese forces entered the conflict in late 1950, crossing the Yalu River to support the North Koreans. This intervention led to a grueling stalemate, with fierce battles and high casualties on both sides. The war devolved into a series of brutal trench battles reminiscent of World War I, with neither side able to secure a decisive victory. Armistice and aftermath. After 3 years of intense fighting, an armistice was signed on July 27, 1953. The agreement established the Korean Demilitarized Zone, DMZ, near the original 38th parallel, essentially restoring the pre-war boundaries. The war, however, left Korea devastated, with millions of casualties and widespread destruction. It also solidified the division of Korea into two separate states, a situation that persists to this day. Legacy and impact. The Korean War had profound implications for global politics. It marked the first significant armed conflict in the Cold War, setting a precedent for the U.S. policy of containment. The war also accelerated the militarization of the Cold War, leading to increased defense spending and the formation of military alliances like NATO. For Korea, the war entrenched a division that continues to influence regional and global geopolitics. The DMZ remains one of the most fortified borders in the world, symbolizing the enduring tension between North and South Korea. Despite its profound impact, the Korean War is often referred to as the Forgotten War in the West, overshadowed by World War II and the Vietnam War. However, for the Korean people, the war's legacy is anything but forgotten, as it continues to shape the lives and politics of the Korean peninsula. The unresolved nature of the conflict serves as a stark reminder of the complexities and long-term consequences of Cold War-era conflicts.